What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video, I'm doing kind of just an ode to some of my favorite builds and weapons. So this is my classic Voidwalker loadout with Contraverse Hold and Vortex Grenade with Chaos Accelerant and Feed the Void. Basically, you can just spam your Contraverse grenades, and then we've got Succession for Anti-Barrier Sniper, Le Monarch for Overload, and then Edge Transit with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch, and you can see I have a Void Scav and Void Weapon Surge, Reconstruction Vorpal on the Succession. So that Succession, I actually got the God roll like very shortly after Deepstone Crypt released, and I finally crafted one just recently with the final shape because they got rid of boss spec. So I kept that OG one around for years, even though it didn't have an origin trait, just because I thought it was awesome that I had got the God roll without having to craft it. But you can put backup mag on things now, and I didn't have extended mag. I had the other one that would still give me up to 8 shots, appended mag or whatever it was. So anyways, there was a tangible reason to switch, so I did. So there, I proc Devour, and then that's just going to give us grenade regen. We check out a grenade. It's going to weaken all those enemies. We have Void Surge on this week, and we have Expanding Abyss. So like I said, this was kind of just an ode to some of my all-time favorite things. I love Succession. I love this Edge Transit that I have, Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch. I've loved Le Monarch for a long time, and ever since they gave it Overload, and even before that, when Overload Bow was a thing, before it had Intrinsic Overload, it's always been a monster versus Overloads. So I wanted to run it. Unfortunately, I ran this and I was about to get a 25-minute clear with this build. And oh yeah, I love how the wizard just appears on top of you now. Bungie really needs to fix this spawn shit. But anyways, yeah, the run I had before this, I was literally trying to finish in style with a nice Nova Bomb to finish. Like, I was sniping the boss. He was about to die, and I threw a Nova Bomb to finish, and I blew myself up. Would have been a 25-minute clear, so that was very disappointing. This run is not as good, unfortunately, but it does get the clear. So I actually took Slova Bomb off, because on that other run, I did get one of my Nova Bombs shot out of the air, and I missed the boss on one of them. So I thought, you know what, I'll try Vortex Nova Bomb. And I haven't really messed with Vortex even after it got changed. So yeah, Vortex, in my opinion, is just not nearly as good as the Slova Bomb one. Slova does more initial damage, which is nice. And Vortex needs to suck like the Vortex grenades do. And maybe it does a little bit, but it needs to be like hella enhanced. So here we go. There's a Nova Bomb. And we break the barrier shield. So yeah, Succession with Vorpal is really nice, obviously, for those barrier shields. These wizards piss me off, but also a skill issue. I was just missing my shots. But yeah, unfortunately, this run wasn't as good as... It was literally my first run, and everything was going so smoothly. And then I blow myself up because I was trying to get stylish with a Nova Bomb at the end. So just really, really stupid of me. Should have just played it safe. Let that be a lesson to you. Yeah, always just play it safe. So yeah, this one wasn't as smooth. I think it's like 3 minutes longer. And there I missed 2 freaking in-air sniper shots, so also skill issue. So yeah, I don't know what I was doing on this run. I think I was just upset after throwing on that one before. So anyways, I do this strat where I come back here, and yeah, like I was saying, Le Monarch is so good because it can one-tap red bars. Watch this. That probably would have one-tapped with the poison, and that was a one-shot body to a Vandal. But yeah, it can one-tap red bars in a GM, which makes it very, very powerful. And then we have whatever fragment that is that gives us volatile rounds when we get grenade kills. And then we've obviously got the Weaken one. It gives -20 to Discipline, but having Weaken is awesome. There, I kind of purposely missed that Nova Bomb because, watch, when I go to cast, I see that this little tanker, once I do the animation, so watch, right here, it's to my right. But when I go into the animation, I think if I'm aiming at that captain there, I'm going to hit this and potentially kill myself again. So that's why I missed the direct impact, which probably cost me a lot of damage. So a little bit unfortunate, but again, Slova probably would have been better there, but it is what it is. And yeah, anyways, I just absolutely love this build. I made a build breakdown on my Contraverse hold build. It's just excellent. The void abilities cause explosions, the weaken grenades, the volatile rounds, and I'm missing one. Why can't I think of it? But anyways, it's an extremely strong build. It's a go-to for me in day one raids, in pretty much everything. Day one's up until final shape because Prismatic is really busted. Let me know down in the comments how you like Prismatic because I'm very torn on it. Obviously, I love it. I love... excuse me, sorry. I love the... oh yeah, and this captain just juking the hell out of me. Like, what the hell? I love that it's so customizable and can basically be a one-size-fits-all for any scenario if you know how to build craft. I think that's great because obviously for someone like me, it's nice to not have to make trade-offs, but at the same time, if you never have to make trade-offs, why would you ever take Prismatic off? And then you have Transcendence, which is basically just free damage all the time, and if you really know how to build into it, you can have insane uptime on Transcendence. So I think it really kind of breaks the balance of the game. So there, once the wizards are down, I got a weaken grenade on him. So yeah, I killed that knight before he was even able to put up his barrier shield. And that's because we have Expanding Abyss on the artifact. So I got that weaken grenade, and then my Nova Bomb is going to deal 25% more damage. So yeah, that again is why I wanted to do this build, just because this is kind of the season of the Void, and it just felt right to finish the solo GMs this season with one of my favorite GMs in Devil's Lair. Like, I really like this GM. But then also with one of my favorite builds with 3 of my favorite weapons. Like I said, Succession has been a staple for me for years, like literally since Deepstone Crypt came out. And then Le Monarch, I've gone flawless with it. Yes, I've been that guy before. I used to run Oath Keepers on Hunter and just hard scope and yeah, just clean people up. It's effective for me. For me, I'm not super good at PvP, so I need to leverage build crafting and cheesy shit to get my flawless. I make no apologies about it. If people want to be holier than thou and be like, oh, like, that's cheesy or whatever, I don't care. I'm playing to win. I will use the cheesiest tactic available or whatever best suits my playstyle to win. And that's what Trials kind of should be. I know there's lots of annoying playstyles to go against, but that's just how I feel about it. And speaking of Trials, I've also gone flawless numerous times with Contraverse Hold. I've done it with the Axion bolts when those were super strong, and I've just done it using classic Vortex grenades. Like, they're actually really strong. They're great for sucking people out from behind cover or hitting them like really deep. Like, when you charge those grenades up, they hit way further than you think they should be able to. So here, I think I might mess up. I think I kind of screw up this Nova Bomb somehow. But anyways, you can see the grenade just doing absolute work. No, I didn't. Maybe that was the part on that really smooth run I had, where I went to cast a Nova Bomb and maybe the captains shot it down. I think my Nova Bomb, my Slova, had got shot down twice in that run, which is pretty unfortunate. But those things happen. And then Edge Transit takes it out super easy. And yeah, the one downside to this build, there is like these arc shielded captains, and we've got no arc, but yeah. Anyways, I think I was talking about Transcendence or Prismatic and how it kind of breaks the balance of the game. So yeah, I don't really know how I feel about it. So like I said, I would have done a 25-minute Devil's Lair clear, which was the same time I did using a double special Hunter build. And then I think my Warlock, I did 21 minutes. So it can still hang, no doubt about that. Like, Void can still hang, Solar can really still hang, anything really can. Next season we're getting tons of Stasis, and I'm really looking forward to making some Stasis builds. But the artifact is not as good. Like, it's very Stasis heavy, which is fine. And we'll have to really get our hands on it to really be able to tell. But I just don't feel that the artifact is going to be as strong as this season's. And it really makes me question what I'm going to do in the day one solo flawless attempts. But I'll be grinding and working on some theory crafting and build crafting and stuff to try to leverage the artifact as best I can in the dungeon. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So there, again, edge transit. I just used my ammo because I knew I had a heavy brick beside me. But yeah, it's really hard to take off Transcendence because you can get Weaken and Radiant at all times with Transcendence, with Facet of Dominance, at least on a Warlock. It's a little tough to get the Weaken on other classes. But because like Suppressor Grenades on Titan, they're not good on like a floating boss, especially like Warlord's Ruin boss. But yeah, you can pretty much have access to Radiant at all times, plus a free damage boost in Transcendence. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like Prismatic is just so good that I would be throwing if I try to use Stasis in the day one raid, or day one dungeon, even with the artifact like buffing the hell out of it. I know there's some Void and Arc ones, but Arc is probably the next weakest after Stasis for the subclasses. And then like Void and Solar are probably the best. Strand is interesting because there's no like damage buff. Unravel gives you like a bit of extra damage, but there's really no damage buff like Radiant or debuff like with Void. So I think for raids and dungeons, that's why those two subclasses are king. And then like I said, Prismatic allows you to get access to both, which is obviously extremely strong. So I really don't know how Stasis is going to go. But there is some of those artifact perks that say like the new weapons deal extra damage. Like the Dark Ether Origin trait weapons will deal extra damage. So yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. But yeah, I'm very conflicted on Prismatic because I've barely taken it off all season because it's just so damn good. So this Overload, ideally he's not right on the other side of this. I should have tried to bait him to the back to stun him a bit, but he was kind of in a tough spot. So just a little bit of a time loss. And here you can see I only have 9 sniper shots. So that was probably the big difference in my run before. I had 2 special bricks back here, which really helped for taking out the walker. And I have Sniper's Meditation on the artifact. So we're getting a free 15% damage boost at ×5. Plus we have Vorpal Weapon, which does more damage to bosses and vehicles. Don't forget about the vehicles. So it'll do more to Briggs and Walkers. So again, I just can't sing the praises of Succession enough. Plus, Bray Inheritance, as we deal damage, we get a bit of ability energy. Not a lot, especially on a sniper, something that just shoots like one at a time. But it's something. And yeah, so the whole engine of this build really relies on Devour. When you have Devour going and you're slaying out on ads, then you're just getting more grenades, and then you're chucking more grenades and taking out more ads, and it just feeds into that grenade loop constantly. It's so, so good. But there is a time, or maybe twice, in the boss room where I lose Devour, and it really slows down the entire build. And then you're just kind of stuck plinking like I'm doing there. And I'm missing a ton of shots with Le Monarch. Like, yeah, really bad aim, but it happens. So here, Weaken, Nova Bomb, big damage. I would have liked it to do a bit more damage. I feel like, whatchamacallit does do more damage, the Slova Bomb. And then there, I almost died, because I was expecting it. So yeah, Slova Bomb, not only does it give better ad clear, but those Seekers will go right to that Brig, where that Vortex Grenade is just dealing damage over time while he's standing there. I needed that instant damage, because then his face would have flown off, and then he wouldn't have been shooting me like he did. So I almost died there. I mean, I could have moved and not been so aggressive, but I almost died there because Vortex Grenade is just, in my opinion, weaker than, Slova Bomb. Then I'm kind of short hopping my grenades a little bit, but that's just to be safe so I don't overshoot. And then we get his face off with Edge Transit with Bait and Switch. And then I'm strafing and jump shooting there because the snipers in the back were shooting at me. Normally you try to take out all those snipers, but it is what it is. So now you can see I have no ammo to deal with this Brig, which isn't the end of the world. You can just plink away, but yeah, we're just going to run around and look for some ammo. And then I'm just going to take out some more ads. There's an overload that spawns there eventually. And yeah, we're just going to... so yeah, you could see he had that laser and he does that noise. That is when you have to get the hell out of the way. Do not stand there. Even if I was behind cover, the splash damage will kill you. So yeah, be careful. So here we chuck out a weaken grenade. There, again, we see his laser. The weaken grenade hits. And we're just going to start putting in damage. Now you can see Sniper's Meditation going up. But unfortunately, these Vandals rotate over. So again, that's why it's nice to always take them out. So now I'm just strafe shooting. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a tough angle. I do prefer to be on the rooftop. And then when that skiff comes in, just start running. Because, yeah, I still have snipers up too, so I could have got sniped. And then that skiff, if it hits you enough, it actually does do pretty big damage. Now we're going to go up. Kobe! And try to hit that nade. And we do, because I'm a Contraverse GOAT. And yeah, so that weaken coming in handy. Unfortunately, we don't get the Expanding Abyss. So in my other run on Hunter, I had Taipan. So yeah, that was taking advantage of Expanding Abyss. So Taipan was really good here, because I would have triple tap. So every crit that you hit, you're getting 1 ammo back every 3 shots. And then I also had Frenzy, so a free damage boost, which is the same as Vorpal. They're both 15%. Like Vorpal on a special is 15%. There's that laser again, so we get the hell out of the way. And yeah, this part's just kind of unfortunate because I have no special. I see there's some special down by that captain, but I probably want to deal with this walker first, so we're just going to speed this part up because it's literally just me shooting the leg. Not the most thrilling gameplay. I don't know what that was, but I had like a huge damage number there. It was like 49,000. Maybe I broke the leg. So then we stun the captain. And here I kind of forget about the stupid marauders down low. So when I jump down, I don't know what this marauder does, but he actually just runs right on by me, which is weird. Yeah, see? He just starts running up there instead of attacking me. Normally they're very aggressive, like they're melee enemies. So they just come up and hit you. But he ran back there, not sure why. But it was nice of him because then I could just focus on that captain. Here's the other two. You can see them. The one rushes me and then runs away. But there, again, I was talking about Le Monarch. Really good because it can just like one-tap these guys. He would have died there to the poison. So as long as you get the perfect draw, even if you body shot, you're still killing red bar vandals and marauders. So here, barrier servitors, big pain in the ass. There, I missed a crit. Like I said, my aim was not very good this run. There, we hit the crits. Then we want to get a grenade, and I'm just going to throw a Nova Bomb because I only have 2 sniper shots left. So if I don't stun him, I don't really have another way to break that barrier's shield other than potentially volatile rounds with edge transit, but that requires a lot of like coordination and like kind of just luck to happen and line up. So here we're just going to keep taking out the enemies. Unfortunately, that overload captain didn't come where I want him to. So I'm just going to work on some other red bars. I want him where I just killed that drag. If he can spawn over there, that's perfect. In my other Warlock run this week, both overload captains came over there, which was like the craziest luck I've ever had. And they walked right into a Transcendence grenade. So anyway, he didn't move there. Luckily, we have a healing rift. So there, that was so stupid of me. I was just trying to get greedy because I still had bait and switch active. So I'm just going to do this because this is a good teaching lesson. Champions in general are not always your biggest threat. These guys are your biggest threat here. The Vandal and the Dreg, because they'll just keep shooting you. A captain, when he's stunned, he's not going to shoot you. So as soon as I stun him, I should be taking these guys out. But because I just used Edge Transit, and I still had bait and switch going, I get greedy here, trying to still use my bait and switch. See, I've got 7 seconds. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can melt him because I still have bait and switch. I don't have to worry about proccing it with my sniper. Meanwhile, look, these guys are shooting the hell out of me. And then, now, I have to run back to recover. And now all that damage I did with my bait and switch GL is null and void because overloads, if you don't keep them overloaded, they'll regen their health. So that was a totally stupid play just because I was trying to get greedy because I had my damage perk up. When I didn't need to do that at all. As soon as he was stunned, I should have taken out the rest of the red bars and then I could have just plinked away. When it's one-on-one captain and I got Le Monarch like that, I'm just sitting back there shooting them. So that was literally just me trying to be fancy and like get them down quickly, and it wound up costing me time in the end. So yeah, like I said, a good teaching moment, but that was my thought process there and why I did that. But I've talked about in other videos how add priority is crucial. And you saw my health bar was also really low there. Like I could have died there, and that would have been the stupidest possible way to die, other than trying to style on the boss and killing yourself with a Nova Bomb when he's like 1 HP. So yeah, I'm the king of dying like a dumbass. But anyways, these captains rotate really nicely for me. This is like god tier luck. They kind of stay on top of each other. And the beautiful thing with Le Monarch is if you get crit perfect draws, it actually spreads the poison to nearby enemies. So as I'm hitting this captain, it's also spreading the poison to the other captain. So look at that. Both captains pretty much dead at the same time because they were in that Vortex Nova Bomb. Now this pisses me off. I kill this drag and I'm like, okay, we're good to go. There was one more drag. I don't know why he didn't push out with his friend. So anyways, now I don't have my weaken grenade, and I was about to Nova Bomb off rip, and it would have done a huge chunk of damage because of expanding abyss. It would have done 25% more damage. So now I absolutely fucked myself. And then I shoot one too early, throw the Nova Bomb, but yeah, not as much damage as it should have done. And then there, almost would have blown myself up with the GL. That was just pure luck. So unfortunately, I should have just ran around and checked what I had for enemies up. I didn't know that drag was alive, and that also nearly cost me. Like if whatever that was flying by my screen had hit me while I was shooting that GL, I'm dead there. But I wouldn't have even had to shoot my GL if I could have had that weakened Nova Bomb or weakened grenade on right away and then hit him with the Nova Bomb. I bet that pushes to a damage phase right off the bat, and if not, very close, and then I could have just cleaned up with a sniper without any need to use any edge transit ammo. So that was really unfortunate. That was the first part where this boss room kind of went to shit. So we're only at 20 minutes, so it's not bad. But my other boss room was like much cleaner. Because like I said, I do lose like my Devour Chain a little bit. Healing Rifts, you can see, are coming in really handy. There you can see we're chunking this servitor and I'm missing my shots, which is just a waste of ammo. Especially on a sniper, they're obviously very crit reliant. So yeah, I'm doing like 38,000 there, but I was down at around 10,000 when I wasn't hitting the crit. There, I hate that, how sometimes you like nick those things even though your reticle's not pointing at it. But look, Sniper's Meditation, 3 shots at like ×5, it was doing 42,000 per. So definitely a really strong artifact mod. I'm gonna miss it because, oh man, with Whisper, I just had a lot of fun with snipers this season, and snipers are getting a huge buff there. Really stupid just being out in the open when those shotgun wielding dregs are around. They hit really hard. I've died to them in the past. Like this was the first GM I ever soloed back before the resilience changes and when it was quite difficult, and I was on Contraverse Voidlock then. That was another reason I wanted to do this before the end of the season. And yeah, those guys with the shotguns have like come into that back room and absolutely murked me. So yeah, you have to be wary of them. So here, we're just getting a good angle on this guy. Trying to hit our crits as we're getting flinched all to hell. And there, again, that dreg comes up on me. And then there's one at my feet too. So I need to deal with him. But I want to get a Nova, and I'm just short. Like, oh man, that pissed me off. So the whole reason I took off Slova Bomb was so that I would consistently hit the boss without my Nova Bombs getting shot out of the air, and then I freaking miss the Vortex Nova Bomb. But that, I mean, yeah, I missed, but it's also because I never run that shit, like genuinely. I very rarely run that Nova Bomb, so yeah, I'm just not used to it. Skill issue, 100%, but that's what happens. Like when you're new to stuff, you're just not going to be as good. If I ran it all the time, I'd probably hit that Nova Bomb, but it's okay. We still got Devour going. There is that one enemy up. And then there, I have Void Weapon Surge, like I had said. So I was ready to proc Bait and Switch. And then I ran out and picked those orbs up. But unfortunately, Radiant Orbs only works on Solar subclasses and if you're rocking Prismatic. So I'm on Void. So again, that's where Prismatic would have been amazing I would have been doing 25% more damage with my edge transit on top of what I was doing, like with bait and switch and void weapon surge, because I would have got radiant from picking up those orbs with radiant orbs. So yeah, just another case of like why prismatic is so friggin' strong. So here we got these goofy overloads, and this in the past has taken me a long time at this part because sometimes they don't cooperate and get to a good spot. This guy does, so I immediately stun him and I get that nade on him, and now we're gonna focus him. That's why I put that rift down, because enemies sometimes scoot over like that guy did. But yeah, here you have to pick your like take advantage of your spots when you have the chance to take out those overloads. So there, unfortunately, he blinked there for like half a second. That is the one downside with Le Monarch, is as things blink and stuff, you can only stun an overload with a perfect draw. And so if they blink away and you're already drawn, then it's not going to be a perfect draw or whatever, right? But the same goes for like other overloads. Even overload hand cannon, you got to land like 4 shots till you get that, but they blink all over the place. That's why something like a Withering Blade slow on Hunter is just so nice for dealing with overloads, just to get that initial stun. Once an overload is initially stunned, they're fairly easy to deal with. But when they're blinking around like freaking spazzes, they're not so easy to deal with. So here, I'm just using my sniper ammo just to speed the process up. We're coming up on 25 minutes, which again isn't bad, but this is right around the time when I would have been throwing my Nova Bomb and blowing myself up on my other run. And part of that, honestly, is because, again, look, this overload is not cooperating at all. I left that overload at the very beginning. If you didn't know, you don't have to kill all champions. You can usually leave one champion. And then this damn captain in the back. Oh, he's so annoying. I hate how they do that. And like bows can't really hit because they're a projectile. So even though like my reticle was on the guy, it's not going to hit him where he was standing. So we try to get a vortex grenade out there, and then he blinks away from it, of course. So yeah, just very annoying. But we do proc Devour. We killed something. Oh yeah, we did get the captain. So that's good. And now we got this other captain. So once he's dead, which he is now our mission... Oh, how did he not die? Like, I don't get this game sometimes, man. Like, I threw that nade, he blinked away. I killed some captain back there because it came up on the kill feed. But yeah, so this is a trick you can do. I don't go over here much, but sometimes the game forces your hand, and you got to do what you got to do. And then I waste a grenade here, literally just so I can kill him, because they take 2 shots with Le Monarch, and yeah, sometimes that can be a pain in the ass. So now this overload is also spazzing out. But the good thing about coming over here is there was some green ammo. So we're just going to go ahead and pick that up. I shouldn't have stunned him there, because I can't really deal with him, because that servitor can be shooting at me. And the longer I'm taking here, the sooner more ads are going to spawn in. So that's the downside. This fight, you really want to speed up the ad waves as much as you can. And this captain is just not letting me do that. There, I get the stun. And then we're just gonna... Oh yeah, so that was kind of dumb. I shot one too many. I guess I was like, no, it's not enough to commit. But anyways, we're gonna plink away with our bow. And then this guy almost kills me because I'm playing like a dumbass. And then we just have to take this guy out. We've got lots of sniper ammo. I'm rotating to middle so that I can do big damage on the boss right away. So I shouldn't have put that rift down. So again, oh my god, I hate blinking enemies. That overload, great example. But just in general, blinking enemies are so annoying. And then I talked about when you lose Devour, this build really loses its potency. So I didn't get much Contraverse grenade regen back because I only tickled that boss for a second. So what I needed to do was pre-throw that grenade right before I was about to take out that servitor. That way, as soon as he becomes unshielded, I don't have to throw a grenade. All I have to do is throw my Nova Bomb. So that was my mistake there. I needed to pre-throw my grenade like I did at the very start of the boss damage phase. Remember when I threw it and there was one drag up so he didn't unshield? Well there, I should have thrown it and then taken out that servitor immediately and then thrown my Nova Bomb. and we'd be good. And I wouldn't have had to use all that sniper ammo. And then this is a little risky, but I said screw it. And yeah, didn't have a Nova Bomb there to blow myself up with, so that was good. But anyways, that was the clear. Like I said, really just wanted to showcase one of my favorite builds with some of my favorite weapons on one of my favorite GMs. So if you found it helpful and informative, then a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you next season. Take care.